How's going guys, welcome to the channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto used tailed beasts to fight Anthro Ponies? Part 4. If you wants to see awesome fanfiction like this, don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get into the video. The library. Come on, Twilight, you can do it. Spike said. Kurama and Naruto were watching. Okay, here goes. Twilight said as she channeled her magic. After she did it, Spike had a mustache. Whoa. Kurama said. That is impressive, Twilight. Naruto said. Haha. You did it. Growing magic, that's number 25. 25 different types of tricks and counting. And I think this is the best trick so far. Hello Rarity. What's that? Aw, it's nothing, just my awesome mustache. Spike said as he admired his mustache. Sorry Romeo. As attractive and enticing as you look, it's just for practice, and it's gotta go. Twilight said as she used her magic. Wait. Spike's mustache then disappeared. Aw, rats. Twilight, Kurama, and Naruto then laugh. Naruto theme song go. Ponyville. Naruto, Kurama, Twilight, and Spike walk through Ponyville. 25, Twilight. 25 different kinds of tricks and counting. I thought unicorns were only supposed to have a little magic that matches their special talents. Spike said. True, for ponies whose talents are for things like cooking or singing or math. But what if a unicorn's special talent is magic? Twilight said. Like you, Twilight, and you know a ton of magic. Spike said. Oh, Spike, stop. I'm sure there are lots of ponies right here in Ponyville that know just as much magic as me. Twilight said. Are you kidding? I don't think there's another unicorn in all of Equestria with your kind of ability, Twilight. Spike said. Then two of the biggest idiots, Snips and Snails, are now running their way. Anyway. Coming through. Snails said. Naruto, Kurama, and Twilight get out of the way just as Snails collides with Spike. Aw. Snips, Snails. What's going on? Spike asked a duo while hanging onto Snails. Wah, haven't you heard? Snails asked the dragon. Whoa. Spike then got launched, but he was caught by Kurama's tail. There's a new unicorn in town. Snails said. Yeah. They say that she's got more magical powers than any other unicorn ever. Snip said. This caught Twilight's attention. Really? Twilight asked. Do you mind telling us where this unicorn is? Naruto asked the idiot duo. Oh, she's in the town square. Come on. Snails said. Yeah. Laughter come on. Whoa. Snip said. They then went to the town square. Town square. The Jinchuriki and Biju were at the town hall where they see a wagon with a stage at the front. They were watching some kind of show going on. Come one, come all. Come and witness the amazing magic of the great and powerful Trixie. A sapphire blue unicorn said to the crowd. Ooh. The audience said in awe, well except for the team. Watch in awe as the great and powerful Trixie performs the most spectacular feats of magic ever witnessed by pony eyes. You then see fireworks and fanfare then go off into the air. My. What boasting. Rarity said with disdain. I agree with you on that one. Son Goku said. Kurama could then hear Spike trying to get Twilight to reform the mustache. There's nothing wrong with being talented, is there? Twilight asked the others. Nothing at all, except in when someone goes around showing it off like a school filly with fancy new ribbons. Applejack said. Just because one has the ability to perform lots of magic does not make one better than the rest of us. Rarity said. Especially when you got me around being better than the rest of us. Rainbow Dash said. Kokuou then looked at her. She then remembered the talk she had with Kokuou a few days ago. Magic schmagic. Boo. Shukaku then got up to the stage. So, great and mighty Trixie, what are you trying to pull? Shukaku said as he circled the unicorn. Excuse me but who do you think you are? Trixie asked the tanuki. Shukaku, the one-tailed tanuki, that's who. Shukaku said. You come into town thinking you are so awesome, but I know you aren't. Why don't you show us some skills, you big fake? In retaliation, Trixie surrounded the tanuki in magic and threw him off the stage. Yikes. Son Goku catches his little brother. Thanks bro. No prob. Son Goku said. He does have a point. What do you have that will make us believe what you say? Naruto asks the boastful mare. Why, only the great and powerful Trixie has magic strong enough to vanquish the dreaded Ursa Major. Trixie said. More fanfare and fireworks. Ah. The audience says in amazement. When all hope was lost, the ponies of Hoofington had no one to turn to, but the great and powerful Trixie stepped in and with her awesome magic, vanquished the Ursa Major and sent it back to its cave deep within the Everfree forest. Trixie said as she used lights. Aw, sweet. Snips and Snails said. That settles it. Snip said. Trixie truly is the most talented, the most magical, the most awesome unicorn in Ponyville. Snails said. No, in all of Equestria. How do you know? Spike said to the two colts. You didn't see it. And besides, twice Spike said until Twilight uses a spell to zip Spike's mouth. MMPH. MMPH. What is up with her? Kokuou thought as he noticed Twilight's behavior. It's true, my enthusiastic little admirers. Trixie is most certainly the best in Ponyville. Trixie said. The sound of crickets were the only things heard. Don't believe the great and powerful Trixie. Chuckles. Well then, I hereby challenge you, Ponyvillians, anything you can do, I can do better. Any takers? Anyone? Or is Trixie destined to be the greatest equine who has ever lived? More fireworks and fanfare go off. That's it. Twilight, show her you have more skill than her. Kinkaku said. There's no way I'm going to use my magic now, Kinkaku. Especially since Twilight said until she sees Trixie looking for a challenge. How about you? Trixie said as she looked at Twilight. Twilight gulped. Well, how about it? Is there anything you can do that the great and powerful Trixie can't? Aye, Twilight said as she couldn't any kind of words to say. Well, little hayseed. Trixie said. Steam came out of Kokuou's nose. Alright. Applejack, show her some real skill. Kokuou said. Applejack nodded and went up to the stage. You show her, AJ. Spike said. Can your magical powers do this? Applejack asked as she started doing tricks with her rope. The crowd cheers at Applejack's performance. Top that, Missy. Oh ye of little talent. Watch and be amazed at the magic of Trixie. Trixie said as she uses her magic to manipulate the rope. Then snake charmer music is heard as the rope moves like a snake. Whoa. Applejack is then tied up by the rope. The audience then laughs and cheers at Trixie's performance. Once again, the great and powerful Trixie prevails. There's no need to go strutting around and showing off like that. Rainbow Dash said to Trixie as she got on the stage. Oh? That's my job. After using the windmill in town, she did a few loops on the rudders of the windmill and went into the air and made holes in several clouds and stopped in the sunlight which made a shadow over the crowd. She then went back through the holes causing the moisture from the clouds to follow her as if she was a magnet. She then went back to the windmill and after doing a few more loops came back to the stage. The moisture then hit her on the head and formed a rainbow over her head. They don't call me Rainbow and Dash for nothing. That's what I'm talking about. Kokuou said as the crowd cheered at the performance. When Trixie is through, the only thing they'll call you is loser. Trixie said as she used her magic to form the rainbow into a cyclone. The cyclone then started to twirl Rainbow Dash around. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa Ulp, I think I'm gonna be sick. She was then thrown to where the others are. Seems like any pony with a dash of good sense would think twice before tussling with the great Trixie. Trixie then forms a small cloud which then shoots a small bit of lightning which shocks Rainbow Dash on the butt. Ow. The crowd then laughs at the spectacle. What we need is another unicorn to challenge her. Someone with some magic of her own. Spike said. Yeah. A unicorn to show this unicorn who's boss. Rainbow Dash said. A real unicorn to unicorn tussle. Applejack said. Twilight, you're the one for the job. Kurama said. Twilight said. Actually, Rarity stepped up to the challenge. Enough. Enough, all of you. I take your hint, but Rarity is above such nonsense. The lot of you may behave like ruffians. Hey. The team said. But Rarity conducts herself with beauty and grace. Duo, what's the matter? Afraid you'll get a hair out of place in that rat's nest you call a mane? Uh-oh. Isobu said. Oh, it is on. You may think you're tough with all of your so-called powers, but there's more to magic than your brutish ways. A unicorn needs to be more than just muscle. A unicorn needs to have style. Rarity said as he used some stuff to make an awesome dress. Ooh. A unicorn is not a unicorn without grace and beauty. Suddenly, Trixie activates her magic. Rarity won't let Trixie get the best of her. She's strong, she's beautiful, Spike said until he sees something shocking. The crowd gasps. Whoa. Kokuou said. Quick. I need a mirror. Get me a mirror. What did she do to my hair? I know she did something terrible to my hair. Rarity said frantically. Nothing. Twilight said. It's fine. Rainbow Dash said. It's gorgeous. Applejack said. It's green. Shukaku and Spike said. They got a stare from Applejack, Twilight, and Rainbow Dash. What? Shukaku asked. Ugh, no. Green hair. Not green hair. Such an awful color. Rarity said as she ran off while crying. Well, I never. Golden Harvest said as she too had green hair. I'll go get her. Kokuou said as he ran to the boutique. Well, Twilight, guess it's up to you. Come on, show her what you're made of. Spike said. Yeah, Twilight. Shows her your power. Kurama said. What do you mean? I'm nothing special. Twilight said. What the bleep, Twilight? You're better than her. Shukaku said. I'm not better than anyone. Twilight said. Twilight then ran off. Twilight. Kurama said. Ha. Once again, the great and powerful Trixie has proven herself to be the most amazing unicorn in all of Equestria. Huh, was there ever any doubt? Trixie said. Naruto just glared. Hey. Naruto said. This caught her attention. You and me, tomorrow. We'll see who is the best. Okay. Trixie loves a good challenge. Deal. Trixie said as she and Naruto shook each other's hands. Naruto then walked off. Naruto, are you so sure about your challenge? You don't know any magic? Kinkaku asked. Just trust me. Naruto said as he headed for the house. Here's your smoothie you asked for, with extra hay, just how you like it. Snip said as he brought Trixie the smoothie. Hey. Snails said. As Trixie is drinking her smoothie, the two colts were still there. Yes. Trixie said. Uo, tell us another story, great and powerful Trixie. Snip said. Yeah, tell us about how you vanquished the Ursa Major. Snails said. Trixie is far too exhausted from performing feats beyond imagination. Begging with you until morning. Trixie said. Oh, of course, great and powerful Trixie. Snails said. Anything you say. We are at your beck and call. Snip said. As Trixie went back inside her wagon, Spike arrives. What are you two doing? Spike asked. Just bring in the GNPTA, Snip said. The what? The great and powerful Trixie. Sheesh. Just bring in her a smoothie. How can you fall for her lameness? She's just a show-off. Unlike Twilight, who? The great and powerful Trixie vanquished an Ursa Major. Can your Twilight claim that? Oh really? Were you guys actually there? Well, no, but nothing. The proof is in the pudding. Snails then laughs. I like pudding. Snails said. Look, unless an Ursa Major comes waltzing up a street for Trixie to vanquish, I am not gonna believe a word she says, and neither should you. Spike said. An Ursa walking up a street, hey. Snails. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Snips asked his fellow friend. Why is it they call it a flea market when they don't really sell fleas? Snails asked Snips. Yeah, oh, come on. The two then ran off. The library. Twilight, would you put down that book and just listen to me? Spike asked Twilight. Naruto, Kurama, and the Gold and Silver brothers didn't have any luck persuading her either. Didn't you see how they hated Trixie's bragging, Spike? If I go out there and show off my magic, I run the risk of losing them as friends. Twilight said as she still looked at her books. It's not the same thing, Twilight. You'll be using your magic to stand up for your friends. No, Spike, it's exactly the same. Come on, Twilight, any one of these tricks, even the teeniest, would be enough to show up Trixie. I don't want to be seen as a bragger like Trixie. Twilight then made a spell that formed a door in front of Spike. Spike then opened the door. But you're the best. Please, Spike, I said no. If that's the way you want to be, then fine. Spike closed the door again. A few seconds later, Spike went out the door and went to find Naruto. The Jinchuriki and Biju's house. The team were either on their beds reading books or were watching TV. Note. And yes, this world has TV too. Kokuou then entered the door. He was tired. Well, what took you so long? Shukaku asked. Well, I managed to get Rarity to stop crying. Then I somehow agreed to redo her mane, which took forever. Kokuou then plopped down on the couch. So, what's on? Oh, just some soap opera about a stallion and his mare as they go through their lives. And since I lost a bet to Chame and Matatabi, we have to watch it tonight. Shukaku said. The Ursa Cave. Snips and Snails entered the Everfree Forest in an attempt to find an Ursa Major. When they entered the cave, it was pitch black. Oh, how we gonna find an Ursa Major when I can't even see my own hoof in front of my face? Snips asked. Hold on. Snails said as he grunted a little and was able to make his horn light up. Oh, heh. That's better. The two hear a growl. They turn their heads to see the Ursa. Yeah. The idiot duo shout in fright. The Ursa roars. The two then run out of the cave and herd towards Ponyville. Hey, guys, where you going? Spike asked Snips and Snails. Can't talk now. Snip said. Got a major problem. Snails said. Yeah, Ursa Major, to be exact. Snip said. Spike looked forward and saw a huge beast coming. He hightailed it back to the library. Trixie. Snips and Snails shouted. Twilight. Spike shouted. Ponyville. Trixie. Snips and Snails said as they called out for Trixie while banging on the door of Trixie's wagon. Trixie thought she said the great and powerful Trixie did not want to be disturbed. Trixie said as she stuck her head out the door. Snips then laughed nervously. We have a tiny problem. Snip said. Actually, it's a big one. Snails said. What is so important that you cannot wait until morning to disturb Trixie? Trixie asks the duo. When they look out in the distance, they see the Ursa coming. They all scream in terror. Twilight. You've gotta come. Quick. Spike said as he ran in the library. I already told you, Spike, I don't want to show up Trixie. Twilight said. No, you don't understand, Spike said until another roar fills the air. The Jinchuriki in Biju's house. Oh Maria, you will always be the love of my life. You then hear kissing. Ugh, nasty. Jayuki said. Oh, so romantic. Chao-mei said. A roar is then heard. Shukaku, we're trying to watch TV. At least tell your stomach to be quiet. That's not me. Shukaku said. They turn off the TV and they hear the roar again. What is that? Kokuou asked as he came out of his bedroom. I don't know but it sounds strange. Naruto said. As they went outside, they saw a giant blue bear approaching the town. It had stars all over its body, making it look like a monster born from the stars. It also had the constellation of Ursa Minor on its side. What the what? That's one big bear. Shukaku said. We got to stop it. Naruto said. Ponyville. As ponies are going into a panic and trying to get to shelter, Twilight and Spike arrive at the scene. What's going on? Twilight asked. We brought an Ursa to town. Snips announced. What? Twilight asked. Don't worry, the great and powerful Trixie will vanquish it. Snails said. Finally, Trixie let it all out. I can't. Trixie said. What? Snips and Snails said. Oh, I can't, I never have. No one can vanquish an Ursa Major. I just made the whole story up to make me look better. Made it up. Maybe you can't but we can. Kurama announced as he and the Biju arrived at their giant sizes. The Ursa Major then growled at the Biju. But the Biju noted the Ursa's size. The Biju were more than 2 or 3 times its size. Heh, that thing's an Ursa Major. What a joke. Shukaku said as he mocked the Ursa. Whatever. Let's get it out of here. Before they could, they hear a more frightening noise. They looked to the direction of the everfree forest to see a larger Ursa come their way. It had the stars of the Ursa Major on its body, while more stars seemingly appeared on it. It had a long tail with fangs coming from its mouth like a saber-toothed cat from the prehistoric times. It was about the size of the Biju. Wait a minute. That blue bear is not the Ursa Major. Kurama said to the main 6. Wait, it's not. Pinkie Pie asked. No. That's the Ursa Major. Jayuki said as he pointed to the Ursa Major. The 2 Ursas then roar into the air. We better think of something or these 2 will crush the town in an instant. Ginkaku, we'll handle the big one. You guys handle the baby. Try to lure it out of the town. Kurama said. The Biju run at the Ursa Major, while Kinkaku and Ginkaku resorted to fighting the Ursa Minor. They gave the treasured tools to the main 6. Eyes come back, it's too dangerous. Rarity said to the brothers. Don't worry about us. Don't forget, we fought against the strongest tailed beast and survived. Ginkaku said as he and Kinkaku turned into version 2. Bleach la distancia para un duelo. Let's go Ginkaku. Kinkaku said as he extended his middle tail. Right Kinkaku. Ginkaku responded by doing the same thing. They then ran at the Ursa Minor. Meanwhile, the Biju are fighting the Ursa Major with their full might. Man, this is one angry mama. Chao-mei said as she bit the Ursa Major. The Ursa Major then flings her off, but she became airborne again. Remember guys, we can't kill her or the baby. We have to get them back to their home. Naruto said telepathically. Easy for you to say. Shukaku said. Gaara and Shukaku went style. Drilling air bullets. Shukaku patted his stomach and shot compressed bullets of air at the Ursa Major. The Ursa Major dodged them quickly and ran at the Tanuki. Son Goku grabbed the bear's tail and using his might, attempted to throw the bear. Yaw. Son Goku shouted as threw the bear on her back. Roar. The Ursa Major shouted. The Ursa rebounded quickly and bit the monkey on his legs. Oh. Son Goku shouted out. Kurama came and kicked the bear off, but the bear slid on her paws while crouching down. Vegito and Matatabi cat claw. Matatabi ran at the Ursa and scratched the bear with her claws. With it distracted, Jayuki comes in with a punch. Me and Jayuki retake the stage. Knocking the beat-up bear right off the page. Killer Bee shouted as he and Jayuki punched the bear down the field. Bee, what the heck? This is no time for your rhyming. Jayuki said to his Jinchuriki. Sorry, can't help it. Killer Bee thought. Of Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Ginkaku and Ginkaku start running on all fours while luring the Ursa Minor away from the town. What's the matter? The big baby can't catch us. Ginkaku said as he continued taunting the bear. The bear tries to flatten the brothers, but they dodge the paw. They turn around to face the bear. They used their elongated tails and tripped the bear as they got away from the town. But the bear was resisting. "Wow, you're tough," Kinkaku said. "Kinkaku, any idea on how to stop this thing?" Kinkaku asked. "No. But Naruto better hurry. We can't hold this thing for long." The bear then grabbed a tree and throws it at the brothers. Kinkaku and Ginkaku nine-tailed fox flaming body. The brothers emit a huge amount of chakra around their bodies into flames and incinerate the tree completely. Suddenly, the Ursa Minor sees a family trying to run from the bear. The bear was able to get up. "Whoa," Kinkaku said. They failed to move in time just as the bear slaps the two far with its paw. They were then sent into a shop. "Kinkaku. Kinkaku." Rainbow Dash shouts out. The two come out. "We're fine," Kinkaku said as he rubbed his shoulder. "It's heading for that family," Rainbow Dash said to the brothers. Naruto and Kurama see this and try to intervene, but they knew they couldn't stop it fast enough. "Crud, we won't make it in time," Kinkaku thought as he and Ginkaku see the bear go for the family. It raises its paw and attempts to flatten the family. "No," Naruto shouted as he holds his hand out, but suddenly Kurama's hand glows a reddish orange and the same color surrounds the bear's hand before it could kill the family. Surprisingly, the bear then got thrown away from the family with a lot of force. This only made the Ursa Major even angrier. "Kurama, did you and Naruto just use Jinchuriki?" asked the kitsune. "Yeah. I think we used magic," Kurama said as he looked at his hand still glowing. Naruto then remembered when they were being chased by that mob, his hand did glow before they teleported. "That's impossible. How can they use magic? They're not even unicorns," Twilight asked. "I don't know, that was awesome," Pinkie Pie said. Naruto and Kurama thought for a moment. "I have an idea," Kurama said. Kurama called Twilight over. "Twilight, come here for a second," Kurama said. "Yeah?" Twilight said. Kurama then whispered into Twilight's ear. After understanding the plan, Twilight nodded. Kurama and Naruto then try to use their magic again. They throw the baby against the mama, sending them both to the ground. Naruto and Kurama then tried to hold them by surrounding them in the aura. "Kurama, are you sure you know what you're doing?" Chame asked her brother as she saw that Kurama was getting tired. "Be quiet. We're concentrating," Kurama said. Kurama tried to hold the two still long enough, but because he and Kurama only learned this just now, it was hard work and they could see the bears breaking out of the spell. "Any day now, Twilight." Twilight finally got herself ready and used her magic. She used her magic to guide the wind along cattails to create music. It was very soothing. "En la distancia para un duelo." "Where is that music coming from?" Kokuou asked. He then sees the Ursa Major and the Ursa Minor both becoming agitated and eventually become tired after they listen to the music. "Nice use of number 16. Spike said. Twilight then used her magic to grab the water tower and poured out the water. The tower then goes through the barn and you can hear sounds of milking as well as cows mooing. "Ali, don't you know?" a cow said. "Okay." Rashi said as he saw the magic doing its work. Twilight puts on a cap for the tower. She then activates initial form and uses the extra power boost to heighten the effects of the song. Finally, the music manages to subdue the both of them. "Alright. Kurama, you think you can help me put them back?" Twilight asked the Great Fox. Kurama nodded and used his power to help Twilight move the Ursas and the milk-filled tower back to the cave. The town then cheered. "Unbelievable," Rainbow Dash said. "That was amazing," Spike said. "Heavens to Betsy. We knew you had ability, but not that much. And I never thought Naruto and Kurama could do it as well," Applejack said. "I'm sorry. Please, please don't hate me," Twilight said. "Hate you?" the team said. "Why would we hate you?" Matatabi asked the unicorn. "Well, I know how much you all hated Trixie's showing off with her magic tricks and I just thought," Twilight asked until Shikaku speaks up. Wrong. We admire your skills. Trixie's just an obnoxious loudmouth," Shukaku said. "Most unpleasant," Rarity said. "All had and no cattle," Applejack said. "So, you don't mind my magic tricks?" Twilight asked. "Your magic is a part of who you are, Sugar Cube, and we like who you are. We're proud to have such a powerful, talented unicorn as our friend," Applejack said. "And after watching you, Naruto, and Kurama whoop those Ursa's hindquarters with magic, we're even prouder," Rainbow Dash said. "You are?" Twilight asked. "Yes we are," the team said. "Wow, Kurama, how do you know what to do with the Ursas?" Spike asked. "You see, after Trixie's performance, me and Twilight decided to look up about those beasts. After watching their behavior, I came up with a simple hypothesis. The Ursa Minor was cranky because it was woken by a certain duo and the Ursa Major went on a rampage because the same duo woke its child up," Kurama said as he looked at Snips and Snails. "Oh, Snips and Snails said. Huh. You may have vanquished the Ursas, but you will never have the amazing, show-stopping ability of the great and powerful Trixie. Trixie said as she threw a smoke bomb and retreated out of town. By that little Rainbow Dash said until Shukaku used his fingertip to catch Rainbow Dash's tail. Just let her go. Maybe someday she'll learn her lesson. Twilight said. Snips and Snails attempted to sneak away, but Kokuou places his front hoof in their way to prevent them from getting away. Now, about you two. Care to explain yourselves? Kokuou said as he glared at the two colts. Nervous laughter. We're sorry that we woke up the Ursas. Snip said. We just wanted to see some awesome magic. Snails said. Yeah. And the way you vanquished those Ursas was awesome. Snip said. We deserve whatever punishment you give us. Snails said as he and Snips bowed their heads in shame. For starters, you can clean up this mess. And what do you think, Spike? Should I give them number 25? Twilight asked her assistant. Oh, 25. Yes. And I think I deserve it, too. Spike said. Snips and Snails said in confusion. Number 25. The Biju, except Kurama, said in confusion. I think you're right. Twilight said as she uses her magic and forms mustaches on the two colts and the dragon. Sweet. Snips, Snails, and Spike said. The Biju then face-palm. Twilight sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia. I have learned a very valuable lesson about friendship. I was so afraid of being thought of as a show-off that I was hiding a part of who I am. My friends helped me realize that it's okay to be proud of your talents, and there were times when it's appropriate to show them off, especially when you're standing up for your friends. P.S. I have learned that Naruto and Kurama can use magic as well. I will report to you about this more in the future. So, you finally admit that you're the most talented unicorn in all of Ponyville? Kurama asked the unicorn. Well, yeah, but it's nothing to brag about. So Spike, how did it go with Rarity? Twilight said. She didn't go for the mustache. Spike said. You know, Spike, that mustache has nothing to do with who you really are. Maybe you should just try being yourself. Twilight said. Or maybe the mustache wasn't enough. Maybe if I had a mustache and a beard. Spike said. Come on, not this again. Shukaku said. Okay, imagine me with a nice long Fu Manchu type beard. Or maybe a goatee. Oh no, a salpich right on my chin. The Jinchuriki and Biju were walking with Twilight. Man, today feels great. Naruto said as he stretched out. I know right, what a gorgeous day. Twilight said. Rainbow Dash must have gotten up early for once and cleared all the clouds away. Spike said. I bet all of Ponyville is going to be out enjoying the sunshine. Twilight said. When they came to the town, everyone was gone. What? Where is every pony? Is it some sort of pony holiday? Kokuou asked. Not that I know of. Does my breath stink? Shukaku asked as he belched out a green stench. Not more than usual. Is it zombie? Spike asked. Zero chance. Yugura said. Not likely but possible. PSST. Said a voice. They look around too and see Pinkie Pie. Guys, come here. Come. Here. Hurry. Before she gets you. They all run, mostly on instinct, inside the bakery. Who? The zombie pony? Spike asked. Pinkie Pie then turned on the flashlight. Zombie pony Pinkie Pie. Oh my gosh. There are no zombie ponies, Spike. Pinkie, what are you doing here alone in the dark? Madatabi asked. I'm not alone in the dark. Suddenly, the others appear out of the shadows near the team. Whoa. Okay then, what are you all doing here in the dark? Shukaku asked while revising Madatabi's question. We're hiding from her. Applejack said. They all look out the window to see a mysterious pony. The ponies then gasp. Naruto theme songo. Episode title. Bridal gossip. As the scared ponies catch their breath, the Jinchuriki and Biju still look out the way. Did you see her, Naruto? Did you see Sakura? Apple Bloom asked the Jinchuriki. Apple Bloom? I told you never to say that name. Applejack scolded her sister. Well, I saw her glance this way, Naruto said until Pinkie Pie cut him off. Glance evilly this way. Pinkie Pie said. Naruto then rolled his eyes. And then a bunch of you flip out for no good reason. No good reason? You call protecting your kin no good reason? Why, as soon as my sister saw Sakura riding into town, she started shaking in her little horseshoes. Applejack said as she starts shaking Apple Bloom. Did not. Apple Bloom said in shaky manner. So I swept her up and brought her here. Applejack then put Apple Bloom on her back. I walked here myself. For safekeeping. Applejack, I'm not a baby. I can take care of myself. Not from that creepy Sakura. She's mysterious. Fluttershy said. Sinister. Rainbow Dash said. And spooky. Pinkie Pie said in an overdramatic sentence. The team groaned. Will you cut that out? Madatabi asked the ponies. Just look at those stripes. So garish. Rarity commented about Sakura's stripes. Sigh, she's a zebra. Kurama said as he recognized the species. But what the main five said. A zebra and her stripes aren't a fashion choice, Rarity, they're what she was born with. Rarity then faints. Born where? I've never seen a pony like that in these parts, except her. Applejack said in a scared voice. Shukaku and Spike sneak off into the kitchen. Well, she's probably not from here and she's not a pony. My books say that zebras come from a faraway land. But I've never seen her in Ponyville. Where does she live? Twilight asked. That's just it, she lives in the Everfree Forest. Suddenly, a crash happens that makes it sound like a thunderclap. Spike. Twilight said. Shukaku. Madatabi said. Sorry. Spike and Shukaku said as they were sneaking some snacks. The Everfree Forest just ain't natural. The plants grow, Applejack said. Animals care for themselves, Fluttershy said. And the clouds move, Rainbow Dash said. All on their own. The three ponies said at the same time. We already know that. Besides, our world has too, you know. Naruto said. Rarity then again. And that wicked enchantress Sakura lives there doing her evil stuff. She's so evil I even wrote a song about her. Pinkie Pie said. Here we go, Rainbow Dash said, which ended with a sigh. Pinkie Pie. She's an evil enchantress. She does evil dances. And if you look deep in her eyes, she'll put you in trances. Then what will she do? She'll mix up an evil brew. Then she'll gobble you up. In a big tasty stew. So watch out. Wow. Catchy. Twilight said. Awkward. Naruto whispered to Kinkaku. It's a work in progress. Pinkie Pie said. This is all just a lot of gossip and rumors. Now tell us, what exactly have you actually seen Sakura do? Twilight asked the scared ponies. Well, once a month, she comes into Ponyville. Rainbow Dash said. Ooh-oh. Twilight said dramatically. Then, she lurks by the stores. Rarity said. Oh, my. Madatabi said dramatically. And then, she digs at the ground. Fluttershy said. But gracious. Fu said dramatically. Okay, I'm sorry. But how is any of this bad? Maybe she comes to town to visit. Yeah. Maybe she's just trying to be neighborly. Apple, Bloom said. And maybe she's not lurking by the stores, maybe she's going to them, lurk free, to do some shopping. Jayuki said. Yeah. Every pony likes to shop. You know what I think. Apple Bloom. Hush and let the big ponies talk. Applejack said. I am a big pony. Apple Bloom said under her breath. What about digging at the ground? You've got to admit that's weird. Rainbow Dash said. What if she's digging for innocent creatures? Fluttershy asked. Pinkie Pie sings evil enchantress in the background. I am sure there is an explanation for everything Sakura does. And if any pony here were actually brave enough to approach her, she would find out the truth. Naruto said. Well, I'm brave enough, I'm gonna find out myself. Apple Bloom said as she snuck outside and saw Sakura. She hid behind a barrel and watched Sakura leave town. She then tailed her to try to get answers. You ponies are being ridiculous. Twilight said. Well, I heard that Sakura eats hay. Pinkie Pie said. Pinkie, I eat hay, you eat hay. Yeah, but I heard it's the evil way she eats hay. Should we stop this? Gaara asked. Nah. Besides, they'll tire each other out eventually. Naruto said. Hey. Where's Apple Bloom? Applejack asked. The team looked around to find no sign of the little filly. The door's open. Fluttershy said. She went outside. Rarity said. And Sakura's still out there. Rainbow Dash said. That silly little filly. I told her to stay put. Applejack said. The team then leave. Spike, you stay here in case Apple Bloom comes back. Kurama said to Spike. Will do. Spike said as he made a salute. Everfree Forest. Apple Bloom was sticking close to Sakura. Before Apple Bloom could even make contact, she heard Applejack. Apple Bloom. Applejack called out to her sister. You see the main six, Naruto, Han, and the Biju in a patch of blue plants, while the rest of the Jinchuriki were standing on the path. Sakura seemed surprised by the Jinchuriki and Biju's appearance. You get back here right now. Beware. Beware, you pony folk. Those leaves of blue are not a joke. Sakura said as she started back away. The blue leaves. Naruto thought. He and Han look at the blue leaves and jump out of it while the main six and Biju stay in the leaves. You keep your creepy mumbo jumbo to yourself, you hear? Applejack threatened Sakura. Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, and Rarity speak over each other against Sakura. Oh brother. Twilight and Kokuou said. Beware. Beware. Sakura warned the team as she disappeared into the mist. Yeah, back at ya, Sakura. You and your lame curse are the ones who better beware. Rainbow Dash said. And you. Why couldn't you just listen to your big sister? Applejack asked as she scolded her sister. Applebloom stuttered. Who knows what kind of nasty curse Sakura could have just put on you? Applejack said. You guys, there's no such thing as curses. Twilight said. Well, that's interesting to hear coming from Miss Magic Pants herself. Rainbow Dash said. My magic, real magic, comes from within. It's a skill you're born with. Curses are artificial fake magic. It's conjured with potions and incantations, all smoke and mirrors meant to scare. But curses have no real power, they're just an old ponytail. Twilight said. Just you wait, Twilight. You're gonna learn that some ponytails really are true. Applejack said as she and the others leave. Don't worry, Twilight. Tomorrow, we'll find Sakura and talk to her. We'll prove that the bad things about her are false. Kurama said. Naruto, Han, Twilight, and Biju's dream. Naruto, Han, Twilight, and the Biju then have a weird dream. It looks like they are struggling a little. Pinkie Pie. She's an evil enchantress, she does evil dances. Sakura. Beware. Beware. Pinkie Pie. If you look deep in her eyes, she will put you in trances. Rainbow Dash. Yeah, was that supposed to scare us? Rarity. Wicked, wicked zebra. Fluttershy. It's a curse. Pinkie Pie. Then what will she do? Applejack. Just you wait, Twilight, some ponytails really are true. Pinkie Pie. Then she'll gobble you up in a big tasty stew. Sue, watch out. Sakura. Evil laugh. The next morning, the library. Twilight woke up the next morning. Ugh, what a dream, curses, schmerses. Whoa. Twilight said as she walked to a mirror. She then saw that she had messed up hair. Maybe Sakura cursed my hair. She combed her mane, but after doing that, she saw that her horn was floppy. Or she cursed my horn. No. None of these books have a cure. Ugh. There has to be a real reason for this. An illness. An allergy, Twilight said as she searched through books but could not find any answers. The curse. Spike said. I said a real reason. Something that points to something real. Twilight said. How about this one? Spike presented Twilight a book. Supernaturals. Spike, the word supernatural refers to things like ghosts and spirits and zombies, which are as make-believe as curses. This book is just a bunch of hooey. But what if you're wrong, Twilight? What if this really is a first? Pinkie Pie spat out as she had a bloated tongue with spots on it, similar to those on Twilight's horn. The purse. How could it be a purse? Spike said. Pinkie? What happened? Twilight asked. Deepa Sakura. Steve put a curse on me. Pinkie Pie said as she tried to say Sakura put a curse on me. But because of her messed up tongue, she kept spitting. Hey, say it, don't spray it, Pinkie. Spike said as he wiped off the spit. They then hear a crash outside. Ow. Thud oh. She's thud trying to say ow. Sakura thud oh. Crash, she slapped us all with ow curse. Rainbow Dash said as she kept crashing due to her wings being in an inverted state. I'm afraid I have to agree. Rarity said as she appeared to have hair all over her body similar to a dog. She then blew the hair out of her face. Spike and Twilight yell in surprise. I hate to say I told you so, Twilight, but I told you so. Applejack said in a high-pitched voice. Spike and Twilight gasp as they see that Applejack was shrunk to the size of a doll. She was on Applebloom's shoulder. It's a curse, I tells ya. Ice. Naruto shouts as he comes in. He was now furry. He was golden colored, had fox ears and a fox tail. He looked like a humanoid kitsune. Naruto, what happened? Twilight asked. Who knows? I woke up this morning and saw that I looked like Kurama. The Jinchuriki come in, but there was nothing wrong with him. Han didn't come in yet. When he came in, he was moving in slow motion like all of his movements were slowed down in time. Hey, where are the Biju? Rainbow Dash asked as the Biju were nowhere to be found. Eyes, come on out. Utakata said. I'm not coming out. Seiken said telepathically. His voice sounded pretty squeaky. Just do it, guys. Reluctantly, the Biju came out, but it was freaky. Ah. Spike shouted out as he sees what happened to the Biju. The male Biju looked like girls. At the ends of their tails, horns and/or ears, they had ribbons tied to them, they had lipstick, wore dresses and had on girls' shoes. They even had the chest to prove it. The girl Biju looked like guys. They didn't have their big chest anymore, they wore guys' clothing and had tennis shoes. This is so wrong. Shukaku said in a high voice just like a girl. I'll say. Kinkaku said as his mouth dropped to the ground. But the others seems just fine. Twilight said. We're okay, but Fluttershy is what I want to know about. Rashi said. Yes, there doesn't seem to be a thing wrong with her. Rarity said. Fluttershy? Are you okay? Twilight asked. Fluttershy then flinched. Is there something wrong with you? Would you care to tell us? Madatabi asked. Fluttershy then shook her head. So you're not going to tell us? Yes you're not, or yes you will. Jinchuriki then got enough. For the love of what's wrong with you, Fluttershy? Jinchuriki said in her high voice. I don't want to talk about it. Fluttershy said in a deep male voice, similar to a man from Africa. The team just stood there in shock, not saying a word. That is until Spike bursts out laughing. This is hilarious. Look at all of you. We got Haridi, Rainbow Crash, Spitty Pie, Apple Teeny, Flutterguy, and Spike said as he made new nicknames for the ponies, but when he saw the Biju, Naruto, and Han, he saw Shukaku pounding her fists, so he moved on to Twilight. I got nothing Twilight Sparkle. I mean seriously, I can't even work with that. Twilight then laughed sarcastically. This is no joke, Spike. Now start looking for more books so I can find a cure. Twilight said. Spike groaned. Rainbow Dash was able to get airborne. I think we'll find a cure to this curse at Sakura's place. Rainbow Dash said. It's not a curse. Twilight said. I agree with Dash. We'll go to Sakura's and force her to remove this hex. Applejack suggested. It's not a hex either. Chow Mei said. Yeah. How come we aren't affected? We saw her too. Fu said. The team except Spike and Apple Bloom were arguing. This is all my fault. If I hadn't followed Sakura in the first place, none of this would have happened. I just gotta fix this. Apple Bloom said as she went to go find Sakura. Now where does she think she's going this time? Applejack said. I don't care what you guys say. It's time to pony up and confront Sakura. Come on, girls. Are you with me? Rainbow Dash asked the rest of the main six. MPFT. Pinkie Pie said. And I as well. Rarity said. I don't know. Seems awfully dangerous. Fluttershy said. Applejack, what about you? You going along with this too? Applejack. Seiken asked. PF, she's gone PFT. Pinkie Pie said. Or some pony stepped on her. Rarity said. The team look at their feet but don't find a squashed earth pony. Or sat on her. Twilight said. The team look at their butts but find nothing. Rarity's hair. Han said in slow motion. The team looked at him with confusion until Pinkie Pie searched Rarity's hair. Oh. Pinkie, what are you doing? Really? You ever hear of personal space? Not. Pinkie Pie said. I don't want to upset anyone but Apple Bloom is gone too. Isobu said. I bet they went after Sakura. Rainbow Dash said. Well, we better go find them. Come on everyone, let's go. Twilight said. Whatever. The male Biju said as they ran outside. Before they could get far, Shukaku tripped on the dress. When he got up, he grumbled. Because Han was moving slow, Son Goku had to carry him over her shoulders. The others then followed her. Hey, a little help here. Rainbow Dash said as she was stuck. Oopsie. Sorry. Fluttershy said as she almost forgot Rainbow Dash's condition. When she managed to get Rainbow Dash up, she flew outside weirdly. Ow. Guys. Are you coming? Fluttershy asked the Jinchuriki and Spike. Since we weren't affected, we think you guys should go. We'll catch up with you later. Kinkaku said. When Fluttershy left, Spike gasped. What? Twilight Flopple. Spike said as he wrote down the last insult. Kinkaku just slapped him upside the head. Everfree Forest. As Apple Bloom runs through the Everfree Forest, her sister comes out of her mane. Stop right there. Turn around right now, Missy. Applejack told her sister. Apple Bloom thought about it for a second and got an answer. No. Apple, Bloom said. Then it looked like Applejack just got slapped. No, you can't ignore a direct order from your big sister. Apple Bloom grabbed Applejack and put her on a branch above some spiky thorns. Haha. Sorry Applejack, but I'm the big sister now. Apple Bloom then walked off. Apple Bloom, you come back here right this instant. I'm gonna tell Big Macintosh on you. Pony feathers. 3 minutes later. The main six, Biju, Naruto, and Han moved through the Everfree Forest. Come on guys. We've got to get to Sakura's. Hurry. Twilight said. Rarity and Shukaku both trip. Oohaha. Easier said than done. Rarity said. How do girls run in these things? Shukaku complained about the shoes as Ichishi got up and continued running. Rainbow Dash was still having trouble flying. Hey, wait for me. Rainbow Dash said. She crashed through some bushes and came near Applejack. Rainbow? Thanks Celestia. There's no time to lose. I need to get to Sakura's pronto. Get your pony. Applejack said as she was about to make Rainbow Dash giddy up. Excuse me? Haw. Applejack then kicked Rainbow Dash. But the Rainbow Dash said as she managed to get airborne. She then flew off. No, Rainbow Dash. Other way. Rainbow Dash then flew the opposite way. Sakura's hut. They finally arrived at Sakura's hut. Son Goku then put hand down. Oh. I look horrible. Rarity said as she looked at her dirty body. You're telling us. Kurama said as it shows that the male Biju had trouble running in those darn shoes too and were dirty as well. This place looks horrible. Pinkie Pie said. Oh my. That place really does look horrible. Nice decorations, if you like creepy. Rarity said saw as she commented about the decorations around the hut. When they look inside the hut, they see Sakura walk in with some kind of bottle. She then put the stuff inside the bottle into the big pot she had. She then starts to speak in a weird language. Shti stole my song. Shti stole millimeters. Pinkie Pie said as she pointed to Sakura. She stole your song? Rarity asked. Pinkie Pie, with all due respect, that doesn't sound anything like your song. Madatabi said. Pinkie Pie then pleads with Fluttershy. Finally, Fluttershy sighs as she gives in. Fluttershy. She's an evil enchantress. And she does evil dances. And if you look deep in her eyes, she will put you in trances. Then what would she do? She'll mix up an evil brew. Then she'll gobble you up. In a big tasty stew. So watch out. You saw those terrible things. Now do you believe us, Naruto? Rarity said to Naruto. Scary looking masks, confusing incantations, and a great big bubbling cauldron. Sigh, everything is pointing to Sakura being bad. Or what if Sakura is just making soup? Naruto said. The ponies, except Twilight, had a look of defeat. It then looked like Sakura tasted the stuff inside the pot. The perfect temperature for ponies, I presume. Now, where is that little apple bloom? Sakura said. Or what if she's making apple bloom soup? Twilight said. What if she's making apple bloom soup? Twilight said. Only the ponies scream as Naruto, Han, and the Biju still refused to believe that Sakura was bad. The team looked up to see Applejack and Rainbow Dash coming in fast. I'm coming for ya, Apple Bloom. Applejack said as she and Rainbow Dash were about to crash into the hut. Ah. Rainbow Dash shouted. Sakura then talks in her native language. Whoa there. Easy, Rainbow Crash. Applejack had difficulty controlling Rainbow Dash while Sakura was yelling in her native language for them to stop. What have you done with Apple Bloom? Twilight asked Sakura as she and the others barged in. Applejack then ties a rope around Sakura's ear and attempts to try to get her. But Sakura is huge compared to her size right now. Rainbow Dash was still flying uncontrollably around the hut. Ponies. What is this, you? Sakura said until Rainbow Dash knocks over the huge vat. No. You know not what you do. You've gone and spilled my precious brew. We're on to you, Sakura. I didn't want to believe that you cursed us, but the evidence is overwhelming. Twilight said. You made me and my friends look ridiculous. Rarity said. You made me sound ridiculous. Fluttershy said. You made me speak ridiculous. Pinkie Pie said incoherently. You ruined my horn. Twilight said. How dare you? You destroy my home, destroy my work. Then rudely accuse me of being a jerk. Sakura said to the main six, while Naruto, Han, and the Biju stood back, letting the main six have it for accusing Sakura of being evil. You put this curse on us, now you're gonna uncurse us. Rainbow Dash said. It is unwise to venture down this road. Your actions will make my anger explode. Sakura said, obviously angry. Where is Apple Bloom? Twilight asked Sakura as she and the zebra were neck and neck. The team then sees enough. Okay, this is going too far. Alright you two, Kurama said until Ichishi sees Apple Bloom return. Sakura. I think I found all the things you asked for. Apple Bloom said as she returned but saw the commotion in the hut. What in Ponyville is going on here? Apple Bloom. You're okay. Applejack said as she relieved that her sister was okay. Because Sakura is an evil enchantress who cursed us and was gonna cook you up into soup. Twilight said. Sakura, Apple Bloom, Naruto, Han, and the Biju start laughing. Oh, Twilight. Did those silly fillies finally get in your head? You know there's no such thing as a curse. Apple Bloom said. Told ya. Shukaku said. Apple Bloom, sweetie. You can't just stand there and tell me this isn't a curse. You can even look at the Biju and tell. Twilight said. This isn't a curse. Apple Bloom. If you will remember back, the words I spoke were quite exact. Sakura said. Flashback. Beware you pony folk. Those leaves of blue are not a joke. Sakura said to the team. Present. So, she was warning us about that plant. I understood her warning a little, but I never knew what she meant fully. Naruto said. Yes. It's called poison joke. Apple Bloom said. Poison joke? Han asked. That plant is much like poison oak. But its results are like a joke. Sakura said. What in the hay does that mean? Applejack asked as she did not understand Sakura's riddle. It means this plant does not breed wrath. Instead this plant just wants a laugh. Will some pony please talk normal? What she's saying is that when we found Apple Bloom tailing Sakura yesterday, we happened to go into the poison joke. That's why the others weren't affected even though they saw Sakura as well. All of our problems are just little jokes that played on us. Naruto explained. Little jokes, very funny. Okay, fine. But what about the cauldron? Rainbow Dash asked. And the chanting? Fluttershy asked. And the creepy decor? Rarity asked. Treasures of the native land where I am from. This one speaks hello, and this welcome. Sakura said about the two masks. Not welcoming at all, if you ask me. The words I chanted were from olden times. Something you call a nursery rhyme. Oh. That's what she was doing. Kurama said. But the cauldron, the apple bloom soup? Twilight asked. Looky here, Twilight. That pot of water wasn't for me, it was for all these herbal ingredients. The cure for poison joke is a simple old natural remedy. You just gotta take a bubble bath. Apple Bloom said as she showed her a book. A bubbly bath? Han asked as he scratched his head slowly. But I tried to find a cure in all my books and couldn't find anything. What book has this natural remedy? Twilight asked. Sakura then showed the cover of the book, which was the exact book Spike showed her earlier. Here is the book you see. Sad that you lack it in your library. Sakura said. Twilight, is there something you need to tell Sakura? Naruto asked. Twilight's ears then sagged a little. Actually, I do have this book, but I didn't look inside because the title was so weird. Supernaturals. Natural remedies and cure-alls that are simply super. I'm so sorry, Sakura. I had the answer the whole time, if only I had bothered to look inside. Twilight said as she apologized for her mistake. Maybe next time you will take a second look and not judge the cover of the book. Sakura said to the rest of the main six as they all had looks of sadness. Apple Bloom then laughed slightly. Sakura. Would you be kind enough to mix up another batch of the herbal bath? Twilight asked. Please. I hate being a girl. Shukaku said. Mix it up, I certainly will. Yet I am missing an herb from Ponyville. Sakura said. But whenever Sakura comes to town, all the shops are mysteriously closed. Apple Bloom. Oh, well, I think we can help you with that. Twilight said. The Biju then nodded. And I know who to talk to. Shukaku said. Ponyville. As every pony in town are going about their business, they see the team walking down the street. Look, Rose. How awful. Daisy said as she pointed up the street. The wicked enchantress has cursed them all. Rose said. The horror, the horror. Lily Valley said. All of the ponies run inside their homes and or shops. Shukaku goes up to the door. Daisy. Shukaku said as Ichi knocked on the door. Daisy, we need to talk. Later the spa. The guys were relaxing in a tub while the girls were in another tub. All of their symptoms were disappearing. Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia. My friends and I all earned an important lesson this week. Never judge a book by its cover. Someone may look unusual, or funny, or scary. But you have to look past that and learn who they are inside. Real friends don't care what your cover is, it's the contents of a pony that count. And a good friend, like a good book, is something that will last forever. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. This Sakura. I would love to get the recipe for this bath. It's simply luxurious. Lotus Blossom said as she commented about Sakura's bath. Before she could say anything, Apple Bloom was worried. Applejack. Hey, where's Applejack? Apple Bloom asked. Everyone was searching the tubs looking for her. Dang. Applejack Kokuou called out. I'm right here, fellas. I ain't tiny no more. Applejack said as she was in a smaller tub. Okay, don't scare us like that again. Seiken said. Applejack then chuckled a little. Ooh. I have never felt so lovely in all my life. Rarity said. Oh my gosh. I never realized how horrible it is not to be able to talk. I mean, I love talking so much, and when I couldn't talk cause my tongue was all it was the worst. Don't you agree, Fluttershy? Pinkie Pie said as her rambling went right to asking Fluttershy. Yes. Fluttershy said, finally having her normal voice back. Everyone then laughed. At the school, students are chattering among themselves. Let's quiet down, please. We have a very important lesson to get to. Miss Shirley said to the class. The class then quiets down. Thank you. Today we are going to be talking about cutie marks. O-Ring Diamond Tiara said. Apple Bloom glared at her for a second before getting a piece of paper and a pencil and begin to jot down notes. You can all see my cutie mark, can't you? Like all ponies, I wasn't born with a cutie mark. My flank was blank. Shirley said as she pulled down a huge picture of herself when she was a young filly. Oh, she's so precious. Twist said. Then one day, when I was about your age, I woke up to find that a cutie mark had appeared. Cheerilee said as she showed another picture, now herself in her teenage years with frizzy hair and braces. Her cutie mark was on the sides of her arms. Look at her hair. A filly said off screen. Yes, I know, but honestly, that's how every pony was wearing their mane back then. I had decided to become a teacher, and the flowers symbolized my hope that I could help my future students bloom if I nurture them with knowledge. The smiles represented the cheer I hoped to bring to my little ponies while they were learning. Now, can anyone tell me when a pony gets his or her cutie mark? Oh. 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 When she discovers that certain something that makes her special. Twist said. That's right, Twist. A cutie mark appears on a pony's flank when he or she finds that certain something that makes them different from every other pony. Discovering what makes you unique isn't something, well, Apple Bloom is writing down notes, Diamond Tiara is trying to get a response from Apple Bloom, but to no avail. That happens overnight, and no amount of hoping, wishing, Diamond Tiara is still trying to call Apple Bloom, but still has no success. Or begging, would make a cutie mark appear before its time. PSSST. Diamond Tiara makes to Apple Bloom a third time. What? Apple Bloom in a low shout. She sees the Diamond Tiara has a note and wants Apple Bloom to pass it to Silver Spoon. Apple Bloom takes the note, but Cheerilee startles her. Apple Bloom? Are you passing a note? Cheerilee asked the filly. What could be so important that it couldn't wait until after class? Cheerilee then gasps as the note was blank. It's blank. Diamond Tiara then laughs. Remind you of any pony? Diamond Tiara said. Apple Bloom then looks at her blank arms. Naruto theme songo. Episode title. Call of the Cutie. Outside the school 3:00 p.m. After working hard, Kokuou was going through Ponyville and saw a young orange filly with a red bow come out of the school with her friend. He immediately recognized her as Applejack's little sister Apple Bloom, yet she was sad for some reason. Want some sweets? I've got some peppermint sticks. I made them myself. Said Twist as she and Apple Bloom left the school. Millimeters, said Apple Bloom as she rejected Twist's offer. They'll make you smile. No, before Kokuou could talk to Apple Bloom about why she was down, he sees Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon walk up to them. I don't know why we had to sit through a lecture about getting a cutie mark. I mean, waiting for your cutie mark is so last week. You got yours, I just got mine. We all have them already. Gasp, I mean, almost all of us have them already. Don't worry, you two, you're still totally invited to my cute scenario this weekend. Said Diamond Tiara as she circled Apple Bloom and Twist with Silver Spoon. It's going to be amazing. Said Silver Spoon. Kokuou felt completely pissed right now and was now walking towards the 4 students. It's a party celebrating me and my fantastic cutie mark. How could it not be? Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon in unison. Bump. Bump. Sugar lump. Rump. Laughing. Leave them alone. Kokuou said. The 4 fillies looked towards the 5 tails and were surprised by his appearance. Kokuou was a bit taller than Big Macintosh, which makes him look like a giant to the fillies. Why don't you two just scram and go bother someone else? Hind, we were just leaving. But we'll see you this weekend. Said Silver Spoon. She and Diamond Tiara then said in unison as they walked away, blank flanks. Apple Bloom, are you Elry, said Kokuou, but before he finished, Apple Bloom ran to the farm. Apple Bloom, wait. Apple Bloom, what happened? Kokuou thought as he saw the orange filly still running. Mr. Kokuou, will you tell Apple Bloom I'll go to the cute scenario with her? Twist said to the dolphin horse. Sure. Sweet Apple Acres 3:07 p.m. While Gaara, Shukaku, Killer Bee, and Jayuki were working in the field, Apple Bloom was ranting on about not having a cutie mark to Applejack. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Said Apple Bloom as she was complaining about being a blank flank. Don't get your mane in a tangle. You'll get your cutie mark. Every pony gets one eventually. But I don't want one eventually. I want one right now. I can't go to Diamond Tiara's cute scenario without one, I just can't. Course you can. You know, I was the last pony in my class to get my cutie mark and I couldn't be prouder of it. I know my future was to run Sweet Apple Acres and these bright shiny apples sealed the deal. Gasp, come to think of it, Granny Smith was the last one in her class, too. Huh, same as Big Macintosh. I really don't see how that's supposed to make me feel better. It probably means that being the last one in your class to get a cutie mark runs in the family. Runs in the family. Runs in the family. Runs in the family. You've got apples for your cutie mark, Granny Smith has an apple pie, Big Macintosh has an apple half, my unique talent must have some to do with apples. Apples, apples, apples. Crash oops apples. Meanwhile in another part of Sweet Apple Acres. Arms of sand. Shukaku and Gaara both sent arms that cut down the apples. 7 swords dance. Killer Bee used his 7 swords and quickly cut down the apples. Headbutt. Jayuki rammed a tree and forced the apples down. Phew. That was some hard work, said Killer Bee. He then hears someone shouting. He looks over towards the source of the noise. What's up about Apple Bloom? Shukaku asked while watching her shout upset about something, but couldn't quite make out what she was saying. She's just upset that she doesn't have her cutie mark, said Kokuou as he came to the group. Why? I know you earn it when you find your special talent, but why now? Because she wants to find it before Diamond Tiara's Kutisonera, so she won't be called a blank flank. Or rather blank arms. Ah, not that spoiled brat, said Jayuki. Wait, if I can recall, she's the daughter of Filthy Rich, Gaara said. That would explain her snobbish attitude. Yeah, I could tell, said Kokuou as he remembered how Diamond Tiara was acting. Later the market. At your delicious nutritious apples here, Applejack said to ponies passing by. Delicious and nutritious, and so many uses. You can eat 'em, play with 'em, Applebloom said. Groan. Off screen. Hey, watch it. Create fine art for your home with them, you have to be crazy not to get a bushel of your very own. Heh, she's so creative, heh. You sir, care to buy some apples? Applebloom asked a stallion. No thanks. A stallion said. Why not? I have plenty at home. Are you sure? Yes, I'm pretty sure. You're pretty sure, but you're not absolutely positively completely super duper sure, are you? Why if I buy some apples, would you please leave me alone? Alright. The stallion got the apples and walked off. You forgot your change. Woohoo. That's how you sell S''M apples and get a cutie mark. So, what does my cutie mark look like? A shopped-in bag full of apples. A satisfied customer eating an apple. There was still no cutie mark on her arms. Maybe I gotta increase my sales figures first. She then saw a mare touch the merchandise. You touch it, you buy it. We take cash or credit. The mare then walked off. I'm sorry ma'am. Ma'am. But it was no use. Oh now Applebloom, you can't just Applebloom, then place some apples into another mare's bag. That'll be 4 bits. I didn't put those in my bag. Sweetie Drop said. Likely story. 4 bits, lady. Applebloom. I am really sorry about that. She's new. Here, take these. No charge. And these. And these. Applejack said. Sweetie Drops then walked off groaning. Y'all come back now, her? Applejack said until she sent a glare at her little sister. What? Applebloom asked. Sorry little sis, but your apple sellin' days are over. What? But how else am I gonna get my cutie mark? Home. Now. Applejack demanded. Applebloom then pouted. Ugh. Listen Sugar Cube, I know it's hard to wait for your very own cutie mark, but you just can't force it. Besides, you're not that grown up just yet. Ain't there other fillies in your class without one? Applejack asked Applebloom. Well Twist doesn't have hers yet. Applebloom said as she remembered that Twist doesn't have one as well. Do you think you'd feel better if you went to the party with her? Well there you go. Bet you and Twist would have a great time together. Now run along and find your friend. You're sure you don't want me to stick around till the end of TH Market? Applebloom asked. Hey. Who's been using my racket? Mutton Chop said as his racket had splattered apples on it. Yeah. I'm sure. Applejack said. Near Twist's house 4:30 p.m. Seriously, who uses a racket to hit apples? Said Kokuou as he heard about the commotion at the market. He then saw Applebloom come to Twist's house. Oh, what's up Applebloom? Asked Twist when she came to the door. So I was thinking maybe we could go to Diamond Tiara's Kutisonera together. I don't have a cutie mark, you don't have a cutie mark. That would be nice. 2 blank flanks at that Kutisonera will shock Diamond Tiara. Thought Kokuou. Well, stuttered Twist before she stepped outside and showed Applebloom her cutie mark of 2 candy canes. Asp was the reaction from Applebloom. How did she find her talent so quickly? Said Kokuou. Isn't my cutie mark swell? I've always loved making my own favorite sweets, but it took me some time to discover that it was my super special talent. Pretty sweet, huh? Said Twist. Yeah, pretty sweet. Said Applebloom as she made a low grumble. Hey, this doesn't mean we can't go to the Kutisonera together. You're still gonna come to the party, are you? Of course she will. Said Diamond Tiara as she and Silver Spoon walked by. It's not like being the only pony there without a cutie mark would be, like, the most embarrassing thing ever. Said Silver Spoon. Kokuou needed to find a way to put those fillies in their place. Later Jinchuriki and Biju's house. The Biju and Jinchuriki, except Kokuou and a few others who were out for the moment, were watching TV. I can't Martin. You're my brother's uncle's son. Maria said on the TV. Okay, that is strange. Kinkaku said. The others said. Kokuou then came in. We heard about Applebloom. You want to get back at Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, eh? Kurama said. Yeah, but I don't know how. Gah, I wish there were other fillies like Apple Bloom that don't have cutie marks. Kokuou said. Wait a minute. We know a couple of fillies. Yujito said. Kokuou then got a little grin. Next day, Ponyville, 4 hours before the cute scenario. Apple Bloom was sitting right by a tree and suddenly Rainbow Dash flies by and notices a dark cloud, comically, hanging over Apple Bloom. Wow, looks like some ponies got a dark cloud hanging over her head. Let me do something about that. She then goes to the cloud and kicks it away. What's the matter, kid? There's a cute scenario this afternoon and every pony in my class will be there and they'll all have their cutie marks and I want to get my cutie mark, but I'm no good at selling apples, but I really want to go to the party, but how can I go to the party if I don't have my cutie mark which my big sister says I'm gonna get eventually, but I want it now. Yelled Apple Bloom as she explains the situation. Cutie mark? I can get you a cutie mark like that. Snap. Applejack says these things take time. I have to just wait for it to happen. Why wait for something to happen when you can make it happen? But Applejack says Hey, who are you gonna listen to, Applejack or the pony who was first in her class to get a cutie mark? I always liked flying and all, but I was going nowhere in a hurry. It wasn't until my very first race that I discovered a serious need for speed and Chasm, this sweet baby appeared as fast as lightning. Apple Bloom agreed to Rainbow Dash's methods and wanted her to help. Montage of Apple Bloom's failures at sports. 2 hours before the cute scenario. After a montage of failures, Rainbow Dash was looking through a book. Tried that one, said Rainbow Dash while looking at the book of extreme sports. Apple Bloom saw 2 certain fillies coming so she hid behind the trees. Your new outfit is, like, perfect for the party. Said Silver Spoon as she and Diamond Tiara walked by Rainbow Dash. I know. It totally shows off my cutie mark. Gloated Diamond Tiara. I love being special. Can you imagine how embarrassing it must be to be not special? I don't even want to, think about it. Tried that one, said Rainbow Dash while still looking through the book. I'm doomed. Doomed. I'll never find something I'm good at. Said Apple Bloom as she popped out of her hiding place. You look like you'd be good at eating cupcakes. Said Pinkie Pie as she suddenly appeared. Eating cupcakes? Eating cupcakes? Said a confused Rainbow Dash as she looked up from her books. Eating cupcakes? I really appreciate all your help, Rainbow Dash. You're a really great coach and I really learned a lot from you and I'm sure I see apostrophe and learn a lot more, but I've got some cupcakes to eat. See you a cute scenario. Hold on Pinkie Pie, I'm coming. Said Apple Bloom as she went after Pinkie Pie. Sugar Cube Corner 1 hour before the cute scenario. I can't believe I didn't think of this. A cupcake eating cutie mark, it's so obvious. Now, where are those cupcakes? I'm ready to chow down. Said Apple Bloom as she was looking through the cabinets. I don't have any cupcakes. Oh. But you look like you'd be good at helping me make some. I guess, making cupcakes cutie mark could work too. Pinkie Pie. All you have to do is take a cup of flour. Add it to the mix. Now just take a little something sweet, not sour. A bit of salt, just a pinch. Baking these treats is such a cinch. Add a teaspoon of vanilla. Add a little more and you count to 4. And you never get your fill of cupcakes. So sweet and tasty. Cupcakes. Don't eat too hasty. Cupcakes. Cupcakes, cupcakes, cupcakes. Puff hot, yelled Apple Bloom as she put the cupcakes on the counter. Ooh, those look much better than the last batch. Chomp said Pinkie Pie as she suddenly chewed on the burnt cupcake. Ugh. I guess I'm not cut out to be a baker either. Sigh, I just have to face it, I'm gonna have a blank flank forever. What about that? Said Pinkie Pie with her mouth full as she saw something on Apple Bloom's flank. What about what? Is there something on my flank? Is there? Gasped a cutie mark. It's a measuring cup. No. A mixing bowl. No, are those cupcakes? A tower of cupcakes maybe. Pinkie Pie then came near the spot and blew the flour away. Blow flour. It's flour. Yay. I guessed it. What game you wanna play next? Please say bingo, please say bingo. Whoa, what's been going on in here? Said Twilight as she came into the kitchen with concern. We've been making cupcakes, wanna try them? Said Pinkie Pie as she brought a cupcake to Twilight. No thank you, not that they don't look, delicious. Said Twilight as she noticed how burnt they looked. Twilight, you have to help me. Said a desperate Apple Bloom. What's the matter? Apple Bloom then took in a deep breath and told what is going on. Tiara's cute scenarios today and every pony in my class will be there and they all have cutie marks and I want to get my cutie mark, but I'm no good at selling apples or hang lighting or making cupcakes, but I want to go to the party, but how can I go to the party if I don't have my cutie mark, which Pinkie Pie says I can't just make appear, but I need it to appear, right now. I don't follow. How can I help you? You can use your magic to make my cutie mark appear. Oh no, Apple Bloom. A cutie mark is something a pony has to discover for herself. Please Twilight, just as tra. I'm sorry but. Oh please, 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 please. Pleaded Apple Bloom. Alright. Oh thank you. A cutie mark suddenly appeared. Yes. I knew you could do it. The mark then disappeared leaving Apple Bloom disappointed. I'm sorry sweetie, but I told you, Twilight said as she tried to explain before she was cut off by Ab. Try again, yelled Apple Bloom. Twilight then gave a sigh and proceeded to make a cutie mark appear. With each passing failure, Apple Bloom became sadder and sadder as the marks kept going away. Told you that not even magic can make a cutie mark appear before its time. It's hopeless. I just won't go to the party, I can't go. Everyone will just laugh at me and make fun of me and call me name. It will be the worst night of my life. I'm sure it won't be as bad as all that. Forget it, there's no way I'm going to that gulp party. Said Apple Bloom as she suddenly realized she was at Diamond Tiara's cute scenario. Diamond Tiara's cute scenario. How could I have forgotten the time? How could I have forgotten Pinkie Pie was hosting the party? How could I have forgotten it was at Sugar Cube Corner? Said Apple Bloom as she forgot about when the party was happening. Don't forget your party hat, Forgety Forgetterson. Pinkie Pie shouted as she put a hat onto Apple Bloom. After getting out of sight, Apple Bloom was formulating a plan to escape. I have to get out of here before any pony sees me. After watching Diamond Tiara yell at Snips for eating the cake, Ab was about to escape. Okay Apple Bloom, almost there. Suddenly, Applejack appeared in the doorway. Applejack then started to speak as she was pushing Apple Bloom back into Sugar Cube Corner. Apple Bloom, you made it. After I heard about Twist, I was afraid you wouldn't show up. I sure am glad you came to your senses about this whole cutie mark thing. These things happen when these things are supposed to happen. Trying to rush him just drives you crazy. I let you be, looks like your friends want to talk to you. Apple Bloom turned around to see Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon approaching her. Quickly, she took a cloth from the table and put it around her arms. Well, look who's here. Diamond Tiara said as she and Silver Spoon were right behind Apple Bloom. Nice outfit. Silver Spoon snickered. Just something I, pulled together last minute. Said Apple Bloom while keeping the cloth on tight. It really shows off your cutie mark. Oh wait, that's right, you don't have one. Said Diamond Tiara. I have a cutie mark. What? Since when? Since earlier today. Oh really? Let's see it. I couldn't. My cutie mark is so unbelievably amazing, I'm afraid that if I show it off, everyone will start paying attention to me instead of you. Outshined at your own cute scenario, can you imagine how embarrassing that would be? Forget it, I didn't really want to see it anyway. Okay, well, go mingle. Enjoy your party. Sigh when she tries to go out the door again, she trips causing her cloth to rip making Apple Bloom fall onto the record player. Record scratch. Oh no. Apple Bloom said as her blank arms were revealed. Wow, that is an amazing cutie mark. Said Silver Spoon. Nice try, Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon in unison. Blank flank. Off screen. You got a problem with blank flanks. The crowd turns around to see Naruto, Kurama, and Kokuou at a table. Suddenly, Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle emerge from under the table where Naruto and the two Biju were at. I said, you got a problem with blank flanks. Said Scootaloo. The problem is, she's like, totally not special. Suddenly, two arms reach out from the crowd and pick up Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon and lifted them into the air, which gets a gasp from the crowd. Hey, who in the right mind would do this? Asked Diamond Tiara as she saw that she was in the air. That would be me. Said a familiar voice. Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon turned their heads around to see Han looking right at them with his stern face. What is all of this commotion about blank flanks? Nothing. This doesn't pertain to you. That filly is nothing without a cutie mark. Diamond Tiara said as she pointed her hoof towards Apple Bloom. No, it means she's full of potential. Said Scootaloo. It means she could be great at anything. The possibilities are, like, endless. Said Sweetie Belle. She could be a great scientist, or an amazing artist, or a famous writer, she could even be mayor of Ponyville someday. Said Sweetie Belle. And she's not stuck being stuck up like you two. Hey, this is my party, why are you two on her side? Diamond Tiara asked Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo as she and Silver Spoon tried to free themselves from Han's grasp, but to no avail. Because Naruto said before he turned the two fillies around to reveal that they too do not have cutie marks on their arms either. You don't have cutie marks either? I thought I was the only one. Said Apple Bloom. We thought we were the only two. I for one think we have 3 lucky fillies. Said Twilight. Lucky? How can they be lucky? Because they get to have the experience of discovering what they are meant to be. Naruto said as he stepped forward. But out of this. You are not a pony and therefore do not have a cutie mark. I may not have a cutie mark, Naruto said as he put his foxy smile on his face. He then pointed to his headband. But this shows what I am. What is that supposed to mean? Yelled Diamond Tiara. The headband means I am a hidden leaf shinobi. So, that is not the same as a cutie mark. Diamond Tiara, a cutie mark is the same as a headband. Shinobi earn their headbands when they earn it, while ponies get it when they find their special talent. You get it from working hard to discover if you want to be a shinobi or just get a normal job. You already earned your cutie marks, so there's a chance for these 3 to earn theirs. And they got all the time in the world to figure it out, not just in a day. Said Applejack as she approached Apple Bloom. Han, you can let those 2 go. Han agreed and set the 2 bullies on the ground. Han then walked off. Later. Many ponies then start talking to the 3 fillies. Hey, what's every pony doing? This is my party, every pony is supposed to be paying attention to me. Said Diamond Tiara. Whatever. We still think you're losers, right Diamond Tiara? Bump, bump, sugar lump said Silver Spoon as she tried to do her usual routine with Diamond Tiara, but to no avail. Not now, Silver Spoon. At the table with the 3 blank flanks. Named Scootaloo. Sweetie Belle. Apple Bloom. Suddenly the record turned off because Shukaku turned it off when he came in with a stereo. It started playing Can't Touch This. Note. Yes, this world has the same music as on Earth. Let's get this party started. Shukaku said as he had on shades. A lot of ponies start dancing right by Shukaku. So I was thinking, now that we're friends we are friends, right? Apple Bloom asked her 2 new pals. How could we not be? We're totally alike. We don't have cutie marks, Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon drive us crazy said Scootaloo. Totally crazy. Well, now that we're friends, what if the 3 of us work together to find out who we are and what we're supposed to be? Said Apple Bloom as she wondered what they were going to do to find their special talent. Ooh. We could form our own secret society. Said Sweetie Belle. I'm liking this idea. Said Scootaloo. A secret society. Yeah. We need a name for it though. Said Apple Bloom. The Cutie Mark 3. Asked Scootaloo. The Cutastically Fantastics. Asked Sweetie Belle. How about the Cutie Mark Crusaders? Apple Bloom said, which got approval from the other 2 fillies. It's perfect. Shouted Scootaloo. This is gonna be so great. Said Sweetie Belle. We're gonna be unstoppable. Shouted Apple Bloom. What do you say we celebrate with some of these delicious cupcakes? Scootaloo asked as she was about to eat a cupcake, but Apple Bloom covered her mouth in time. Not the cupcakes. Trust me. Said Apple Bloom as she threw away the table. Let's see if there are any cookies. Said Sweetie Belle as she got up from the table. Yeah. Come on. Yelled Apple Bloom as they went to go dance. They then saw Shukaku breakdancing on the floor, much to the shock of Kurama and the others when they arrived at the party. But a lot of ponies were cheering for Shukaku. Twilight Sparkle. Dearest Princess Celestia. I am happy to report that one of your youngest subjects has learned a valuable lesson about friendship. Sometimes, the thing you think will cause you to lose friends and feel left out. Princess Celestia. Can actually be the thing that helps you make your closest friends and realize how special you are. Princess Celestia said as she remembered when she got her cutie mark. Jinchuriki Training Field 9:20 AM. After a huge explosion went off, Spike was very weak and could barely stand. Good job Spike. You managed to complete the version 2-tailed beast ball. Naruto said to the baby dragon. Now, what happened to the bookworm, clothes designer, the tomboys, the party animal, and the shy one? Well, Kokuou came out here early this morning and saw them finally complete the tailed beast ball. They must have been training for a while because they could barely stand after long. So, he gave them a few days off. That's a surprise. Said Ginkaku. What is? Asked Kinkaku. That Rarity would work so hard and not complain. Yeah, that is weird. Suddenly, Kurama sensed Matatabi's telepathy. What is it? Asked Kurama. Vegito and Fu want to show all of you something, so come to Carousel Boutique. Said Matatabi. Alright, we'll be there in a jiffy. Matatabi and Kurama then end their telepathy. What's going on? Asked Spike. Vegito and Fu want to see us at the clothes store. Probably about those clothes for the Triple G. Triple G? Asked Ginkaku. The Grand Galloping Gala. Said Naruto. Oh. Spike, let's go. Don't worry about me. Twilight is going to make me a tuxedo later. Right, well let's get a move on. Kinkaku said as he and the others went back to Ponyville. Naruto-themed songo. Episode title. Suited for success. Outskirts of Ponyville. Naruto, Kurama, and the Gold and Silver brothers were jumping from one rooftop to another until they landed right in front of Rarity's shop. They then see the other male Jinchuriki and Biju already waiting there. Let me guess, Madatabi also told you guys. Naruto said with a chuckle in his voice. Yeah, we were waking up then she suddenly called us. Yugura said as he was wiping the stuff out of his eyes. Those two better have prepared something good to have interrupted our day of relaxing. Seiken said as he opened the door to the store. Ugh, this place just makes my eyes burn every time I come in here. You said it, said Ginkaku. The boys then see Ujito come around the corner. There you are. Come around the corner except for you Kokuou. Ujito said with an excited voice. Why can't I come? Kokuou asked. Rarity wants to see you, but she is working on her party dress, so wait until she's ready. Kokuou then went to the shop which was around the corner. Carousel Boutique, Ujito's room. The Jinchuriki and Biju came to Ujito's room and saw Madatabi, Fu, and Chame waiting there. What's up? Asked Killer B. The girls were in front of curtain. Look at your clothes for the gala. Fu said as she and Ujito opened the curtains to reveal the men's clothes. They all wore tuxedos and each had colors and symbols that represented each Jinchuriki or Biju. Naruto saw that his tuxedo had orange and black just like his ninja outfit and it had the symbol of the hidden whirlpool on the shoulders and on the backside. The rest of the outfits matched the guys' own designs. The guys had solemn expressions. You don't like them? Asked Fu. Like them? We love them. The guys shouted. Madatabi, Ujito, Fu, and Chame. Girls, you guys did an amazing job on these outfits. Thank you for your hard work. Said Kurama. Aw, thank you Kurama. Said Madatabi as she hugged Kurama which made the great fox blush. Shukaku chuckled. Kurama saw Shukaku and put on his malicious grin. Meanwhile in Rarity's workstation. Howdy Rarity. Applejack shouted as she came through the door. SHH can't you see Rarity is trying to concentrate? Twilight said as she tried to hush her friend. What do you think she's making? Looks like a dress. Well, that makes sense. Since this is a dressmaker's shop and all. Is there something I can help you with? Asked the impatient clothes designer. Oh, so very sorry to trouble you, Rarity, but I need a quick favor. Could you please fix the button for me? It's my dress for the Grand Galloping Gala. Twilight said as she put her dress in front of Rarity. Oh, no. You can't wear this old thing. You need a glamorous new outfit for the gala and I'll make it for you. No problem at all. It will be my pleasure. Oh, that's really sweet of you to offer, Rarity, but I can't let you do that. It would be so much work. This dress is fine. Twilight sparkle. I insist on making you a new dress. But. Not another word. I won't take no for an answer. Well, in that case thank you for your generosity, Rarity. Knowing your handiwork, I'm sure it will be absolutely beautiful. I must agree. Said a familiar voice. The girls turned around to see Kokuou leaning on the doorway that leads to the other rooms. Any dress that you make always turns out right. Rarity was blushing hard and Kokuou was just smiling. Rarity stopped and then turned to Applejack. Let me guess, Applejack. You don't want a new gown either. Said Rarity. Gown? Shoot. I was just gonna wear my old work duds. Said Applejack. You can't possibly be serious, Applejack. You absolutely must wear formal attire. Nah. What if I just spruce up your duds for you a little bit? Okay, sure. Why not? Since you're up for it and all. Just don't make them too frou-frou why. Deal. Look out below. Yelled Rainbow Dash as she crashed through the window into the fabrics. Sorry. New trick. Didn't quite work. Suddenly, Rarity got an idea. Idea? I'll make you an outfit for the gala too, Rainbow Dash. Outfit for the what now? Rainbow Dash asked as she stumbled out of the fabrics. I'll make one for you and all of you. Oh. And of course Pinky and Fluttershy too. Oh, and when I'm done, we can hold our very own fashion show. What a great idea. If you're sure you can handle it. Said Twilight as she supported her friend's idea. Oh, it'll be a little bit of work, but it will be a wonderful boost for my business. Plus, fun. Oh, I love fun things. Said Rainbow Dash. Then it's settled. We'll have a fashion show starring us. Count me out on the fashion show. This is only for the ladies. Said Kokuou. Very well Kokuou. So all you have to do is make a different, stunning, original, amazing outfit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus yourself, 7 ponies. And lickety-split. Oh, Applejack. You make it sound as if it's going to be hard. Ah. Shukaku yelled as he was thrown from the upstairs window. So I'll go check on him. Kokuou said as he went outside. Rarity. Thread by thread, stitching it together. Twilight's dress, cutting out the pattern snip by snip. Making sure the fabric folds nicely. It's the perfect color and so hip. Always gotta keep in mind my pacing. Making sure the clothes correctly facing. I'm stitching Twilight's dress. Yard by yard, fussing on the details. Dual neckline, don't you know a stitch in time saves 9. Make her something perfect to inspire. Even though she hates formal attire. Not mind those intimate details. Even though she's more concerned with sales. It's Applejack's new dress. Dressmaking's easy, for Pinkie Pie something pink. Fluttershy something breezy. Blend color and form. The opalescence, do you think it looks cheesy? Something brash, perhaps quite fetching. Hook and eye, couldn't you just simply die? Making sure it fits forelock and crest. Don't forget some magic in the dress. Even though it rides high on the flank. Rainbow won't look like a tank. I'm stitching Rainbow's dress. Piece by piece, snip by snip. Croup, dock, haunch, shoulders, hip. Thread by thread, primmed and pressed. Yard by yard, never stressed. And that's the art of the dress. Later that day. Kokuou and the 5 mares returned back to Carousel Boutique to see the gala outfits that Rarity created. They were told to keep their eyes closed. That's it. Keep them closed. Don't look. Okay, you can look now. The stallion and the mares opened their eyes and had a good view of their outfits. These are your new outfits. What do you think of your old duds now, Applejack? Pretty swanky, are they not? Kokuou, I made one that matches your color. And Twilight. I made this dress for you, and I designed each outfit theme to perfectly reflect each pony's unique personality. Oh, it took me forever to get the colors right on this one, Rainbow Dash, but I did it. Oh, and it turned out beautiful, don't you think? Ooh oh, and I know you are going to love yours, Fluttershy. It just sings spring. And Pinkie Pie, look. Pink. Your favorite. Aren't they all amazing? Kokuou was surprised by his tuxedo and actually smiled at his friend's accomplishment. But the 5 mares did not like the dresses at all, and they tried to act like they were good. Wow, there said Twilight but could not finish. Yeah, there said Rainbow Dash. They sure are something. Yes. Something. Said Twilight. Kokuou then noticed that his friends were talking strangely. I love something. Something is my favorite. Said Pinkie Pie. It's nice. Said Fluttershy. But what's the matter? Don't you like them? Rarity asked her friends. They're very nice, said Twilight. I think they are swell, Rarity. Nice job. Kokuou said honestly. And we're plumb grateful cause you worked so hard on them. Mine's just not as cool as I was imagining. Rainbow Dash said flat out. She then received an evil glare from Kokuou. She asked. I guess what we all are saying is that they're just not what we had in mind. Said Twilight. Collective yeah, except for Kokuou. That's okay. Not a problem. There's plenty more where that came from. They were only a first pass. You're my friends and I want you to be 110% satisfied. Not to worry, I'll redo them. Said Rarity. Rarity, you don't have to redo the outfits. Said Kokuou. I want them to be better than just fine. I want you to think they're absolutely perfect. Are you sure? I mean, we wouldn't want to impose. Said Applejack. Oh, it's no imposition. Really, I insist. Well, in that case thank you again, Rarity. Twilight said as she and the other mares left the room. However, Kokuou stayed in the room. Rarity, I'll just take mine. Said Kokuou. Are you sure? Asked Rarity. Yes. Said Kokuou as he neatly put his tuxedo in his bag. And, Rarity, are you sure you want to redo their dresses? Totally. Alright. Don't exert yourself. Too much sewing will stress your mind. Kokuou said as he gave a warning to Rarity before leaving the shop. What have I gotten myself into? Rarity said as she contemplated her decision. Jinchuriki training field. Shukaku and Kurama were both playing chess, while the other Biju except for Kokuou were asleep. Kokuou was watching his 2 brothers play the game. Shukaku had bandages due to being thrown from the window by his older brother. Checkmate. Kurama said as he took Shukaku's last piece. What? Yelled Shukaku. He immediately calmed down. Well, looks like I lost again. Suddenly, Naruto and the other Jinchuriki were behind Kurama. You're back. Have you seen Rarity? Naruto asked a Biju. She's still designing those outfits. Said Kokuou. Why? I thought she finished. She did, but the girls did not approve. What? Here Rarity makes awesome dresses for them and they say they're not what we had in mind. Said Shukaku. That is a load of bull's tea. Watch the language, Shukaku. Madatabi said as she was still asleep but somehow heard the conversation. Right now, they are telling her what their dresses should look like. Kokuou said. Oh boy. Kurama and Shukaku said in unison as they knew that these new outfits will be bad. Twilight sparkle. Now, the stars on my belt need to be technically accurate. Orion has 3 stars on his belt, not 4. Rarity. Stitch by stitch, stitching it together. Deadline looms, don't you know the client's always right. Even if my fabric choice was perfect. Got to get them all done by tonight. Pinkie Pie, the color's too obtrusive. Wait until you see it in the light. I'm sewing them together. Pinkie Pie. Don't you think my gown would be more me with some lollipops? Rarity. Well, I think. Pinkie Pie. Balloons. Rarity. Well. Pinkie Pie. Do it. Rarity. Hour by hour, one more change. I'm sewing them together, take great pains. Fluttershy, you're putting me in a bind. Rainbow Dash, what is on your mind? Oh my gosh, there's simply not much time. Don't forget, Applejack's duds must shine. Dressmaking's easy, every customer's call. Brings a whole new revision. Have to pick up the pace, still hold to my vision. Twilight sparkle. That constellation is Canis Major, not minor. Fluttershy. French haute couture, please. Rarity. Ugh. Applejack. What if it rains? Galoshes. Pinkie Pie. More balloons. Oh no, that's too many balloons. More candy. Oh. Less candy. Oh wait, I know. Streamers. Rarity. Streamers. Pinkie Pie. Whose dress is this? Rarity. Streamers it is. Rainbow Dash. What? Rarity. Aren't you going to tell me to change something too? Rainbow Dash. No, I just want my dress to be cool. Rarity. Do you not like the color? Rainbow Dash. The color's fine, just make it look cooler. Rarity. Do you not like the shape? Rainbow Dash. The shape's fine, just make the whole thing cooler. It needs to be about 20% cooler. Pinkie Pie. All we ever want is indecision. Rainbow Dash. All we really like is what we know. Twilight sparkle. Got a balanced style with adherence. Fluttershy. Making sure we make a good appearance. Applejack. Even if you simply have to fudge it. All. Make sure that it stays within our budget. Rarity. Got to overcome intimidation. Remember, it's all in the presentation. Piece by piece, snip by snip. Croup, dock, haunch, shoulders, hip. Bolt by bolt, primmed and pressed. Yard by yard, always stressed. And that's the art of the dress. Rarity. Oh, Opal. These are the ugliest dresses I've ever made. Rarity said as she finished her dresses. Later. The Jinchuriki and Biju came to Rarity's shop and saw her sitting on her fancy couch with her head down. Rarity, we were looking for you. Said Kinkaku. He then saw the sad look on her face. Rarity, what's wrong? Eyes, tell me what you think about these dresses. Rarity said in a depressed tone as she revealed the dresses the other ponies wanted Rarity to make. Instantly, the Jinchuriki had sick looks on their face, while the Biju just felt sick. Ah. I need to go outside. Isobu said as he rushed outside into the bushes. Isobu then threw up in the bushes. Isobu then came back inside with a better look. How can they even think to wear this? Naruto asked the fashion diva. That is not even the worst news. Have you heard of hoity-toity? Yeah. Said Kokuou. He's that awesome fashion critic in Canterlot. So? What does this have to do with him? Yugura asked as he was drinking some water. Well, Spike mentioned about my fashion show to him and hoity-toity is coming here. To see these dresses. Rarity said as she pointed to the horrible dresses. Suddenly, Yugura dropped his bottle of water and Kokuou was not moving. The fashion show. The citizens had finally come to the fashion show and the Jinchuriki had seen hoity-toity come near the front of the stage. Oh. Gasp, there he is. Deep breath. Okay. Relax, Rarity. Your friends like their outfits and so will he. Rarity said as she was very nervous. Suddenly, the lights came on. What's wrong with the lights? Oh, yes. That means the show's starting. Good. You then hear Spike with an opening speech with some classy music to go with it. Since the beginning of time the elite of Equestria have longed for pony fashions that truly express the essence of their very souls. Patiently waiting decades, no, centuries. For the perfect pony gown. Today at long last, Equestria, your wait is over. Let's hear it for the breathtaking designs of Ponyville's own Rarity. The lights revealed the main 6 in their awful dresses and the audience was silent. Why's every pony looking at us like that? Applejack asked as she saw the audience just gawking at them. Oh dear. Said Twilight. Do you think we overdid it? Asked Rainbow Dash. Nah. Pause. Okay, maybe a little. Said Applejack. Oh, those amateurish designs look like a piled on mishmash of everything but a kitchen sink. It's a travesty, it's what it is. Those outfits are the ugliest things I've ever seen, oh for shame. Who is responsible for subjecting our eyes to these horrors? Not to mention wasting my valuable time," said hoity-toity. "Oh. Hide me," Rarity said to Opalescence. "Come on out and take a bow, Rarity. You worked really hard for this," Spike said as he pushed Rarity onto the stage. "Yes. Alright, woohoo. Go, Rarity." 3 days later, Carousel Boutique. "Rarity? You okay in there? You haven't come out for days," Pinky said as she knocked on Rarity's bedroom door. She then hears Rarity moaning and complaining. "I'm never coming out. I can't show my face in Ponyville ever again. I used to be some pony. I used to be respected. I made dresses. Beautiful, beautiful dresses. But now every pony is laughing at me. I'm nothing but a laughingstock," said Rarity. "You're not a laughingstock," Rarity Twilight said as she tried to assure her friend that the fashion show didn't totally ruin her career. "She kind of is," said Rainbow Dash. Instantly, she received malice from the Biju. "SHHH. Come on out and talk to us. Leave me alone. I want to be alone. I want to wallow in whatever it is that ponies are supposed to wallow in. Do ponies wallow in pity? Oh, listen to me, I don't even know what I'm supposed to wallow in. I'm so pathetic." Rarity yelled as she thought that she was a pathetic pony who makes awful dresses. The Jinchuriki just rolled their eyes while Kokuou had to find a way to get her out. "Now what do we do?" asked Twilight. Panic," Fluttershy suggested to her friend's question, which was obviously a stupid answer. "That's your answer for everything," said Fu. "I'll talk to her," said Kokuou. "You guys figure out something." Twilight looked around and saw Rarity's incomplete dress. Rarity then started to think about leaving Ponyville. Exile, I guess technically I'd have to move away to live in exile. Where would I go? And what would I pack? Oh, it's going to take me forever to do all of that packing. What are you supposed to pack when you go to exile? Are you supposed to pack warm? Suddenly, Kokuou knocked down the door to her bedroom. "Kokuou, what are you doing?" Rarity asked as she demanded to know why the Biju just charged in her room. "I came to talk to you," Kokuou said as he quickly put the door back up. "You don't have to. I'm just a pathetic no-good pony." Suddenly, when Rarity had her back turned, Kokuou used his foot to kick Rarity swiftly but not hard to the floor. "What was that for?" Rarity asked as she was sitting on the floor. Kokuou then looked down at her. "So, this is how the awesome fashion designer Rarity falls. You really are a shame," Kokuou said, using psychological warfare to get Rarity back on track. "You don't understand, Kokuou. I worked for years to get to where I am today. What happened out there was my worst failure. I became a failure. Get over it. It's not your fault." "Yes, it is. I should have done better, but instead I blew it. Everyone makes mistakes. No one is perfect in the world. Even the Sage of Six Paths had a few flaws. But, if you learn more about your flaws, you can learn how to correct them and make you a better person. Those dresses you made at first were amazing. Twilight and the others are sorry about what happened and they want to make it up to you." "How?" "Come with me. I'll show you." Kokuou then grabbed Rarity's hand and got Rarity off the floor. They then went outside of the store. Outside Carousel Boutique. "What is it?" "It's not you," gasped Rarity said as she saw that her friends have finished her gala dress. "We all finished your dress for you," said Pinkie Pie. "Thanks to Fluttershy's freaky knowledge of sewing," Applejack said, which made Fluttershy blush a little. "Do you like it?" Fluttershy asked. Like it," said Rarity. She doesn't like it." "No, I don't like it." "Oh," said the ponies as they thought she didn't like it. "I love it," Rarity shouted. "Yay," said the ponies. "You ponies did an amazing job. It's exactly the way I imagined it. We just followed your brilliant design," said Fluttershy. "Like you should have let you do for our outfits. Those first dresses you designed were perfect," said Twilight. "We're so super sorry," said a guilty Pinkie Pie. "You worked really hard to make our dresses exactly the way we wanted them. We all saw how well that turned out," said Rainbow Dash. "Oh, I forgive you," said Rarity. "Well, that's mighty big of you," said Applejack. "But my whole career is still ruined." "Oh, right. That. Maybe not," said Twilight. They all turned around to see Hoity-Toity by the building. "Alright, I haven't got all day," said Hoity-Toity. Rarity was a bit nervous, but Kokuou put his hand on her shoulder. "You can do it," Kokuou said. She nodded and proceeded to enter the boutique with the other ponies. "Carousel Boutique. Take 2," said Hoity-Toity. Spike closed the window. Rarity then used a spell to form backdrops for her friends. Twilight's dress. "Hello, oh, this can't be the same designer." Applejack's dress. "Simply magnificent. And suddenly I have a fierce craving for some Dutch apple pie. Candied apples on a stick." Apple turnovers. Apple cobbler. Pinkie Pie's dress. Brilliant. Rainbow Dash's dress. Oh, spectacular. Fluttershy's dress. Now this is a fashion show. All of these dresses are absolutely amazing. Who is responsible? Step forward, show yourself. Rarity's dress. Bravo. Bravo. Magnifico. Encore. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Rarity said as she thanked her friends. Kokuou, who was watching the whole thing thanks to his connection with the main six, just smiled and walked off. Twilight. Dear Princess Celestia. This week my very talented friend Rarity learned that if you try to please every pony, you oftentimes end up pleasing no pony, especially yourself. And I learned this. When some pony offers to do you a favor, like making you a beautiful dress, you shouldn't be overly critical of something generously given to you. In other words, you shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. Spike then sent the letter to Celestia. Rarity, my congratulations. You are the most impressive fashion maven. Would you do me the great honor of allowing me to feature your couture in my best of the best boutique in Canterlot? Asked hoity-toity. Rarity. Gasp. Now, I'll need you to make a dozen of each dress for me by next Tuesday. Said hoity-toity. Rarity. Snap. So this part ends here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so quickly like this video for second part of this series. And comment down below your thoughts about this series. And now it's time for me to go, bye.